like that feeling, it was different. And immediately it was like an addiction. Like I had to keep doing this over and over again.
Sit here. Let me break this down to you. You got to kick the language as if you got it going on. You know, like with the program.
Like a Microsoft Word program on my computer?
No, man, listen to me. You got to speak to the people as though you are with it. As if you ain't new to this. Okay.
What's the deal? It's the real. I hope everybody feeling good today. Today, I'm here with the creator of Wonderful, Bryan.
That's it.
Yes, sir. So how you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's been a long day, but good.
How you feeling? Why has it been long?
Oh, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I'm in this program right now. That's the whole thing. But, yeah.
What program are you? Like this in regards to like school?
Yeah, so it's a design program. I don't know if you've heard about the HBCU that just opened up in Detroit. It's a design HBCU. It's called Pencil. And so it's like I'm an apparel designer, and we partner with the company, and we create products for that company. Right now, we're partnered with Carhartt. So,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Wow. So does the HBCU just stand for something creative, or is it an actual like HBCU?
No, it's an actual HBCU. So Michigan used to have an HBCU called Lewis College of Business, and what they're doing is they're basically reviving it. So they reopened it, but as specifically design. So it's like footwear design, apparel design, and like color materials and all that stuff. So.
Oh wow. No, that's really cool. So wow. I mean, I need to look into that.
Oh yeah, and it's free.
Really?
And they housing like it's free, and it's really good.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite thing about being in the program?
The information and the people around, like the people who are teaching are like, these are people who were pioneers in the industry as like some of the first Black designers, and like places like Jordan and Nike, and like getting the information from them is like amazing. They have so much good information. So.
Oh wow, yeah. I gotta look out for me. Cause I gotta tell you. But I honestly just wanted to get you on the pod to just simply talk about, your process, your growth so far. So something I did ask you off cam was about, I want to rephrase it, but my brain's not letting me. So, I guess, so me being your classmate at one point in time, you were, I'll say blunt instead.
Okay, yeah.
I'll say very blunt, which is fine, but it's not. I don't know how to rephrase it, but I guess, okay, so since, other people didn't hear the question, I guess in regards to character development, how do you feel that you're growing from, being this like 14 or 15-year-old?
Say it.
I'm not gonna say ass, but like this, I don't know, more blunt. I'll just use the word blunt. To now and like actually, having these conversations with people and being able to interact with people without being so, like it's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's like I said before, like it's so fine. Like I'm aware that I'm aware of how it was. Like it was bad, but it just came from a place of like not knowing how to do certain social things and being socially awkward. And like growing up, I was the only child for a long time. So my sister is like, what is she, 11 right now? So for a long time I was by myself. Growing up without that, it was a lot of like, I don't know, social disconnect. I didn't know how to necessarily talk to people and all that stuff. So I don't know, it came out in certain ways. And like my intentions were good, probably. Probably like more so like joking, blah, blah, blah. But like, no, it's like as I went on, just learning different things and getting to interact certain ways with different people, I don't know, you learn some really things and you develop your character and all that stuff. So I like to think I'm a lot better. I'm sure there's people that's gonna say otherwise, but I don't care.
Okay.
I think everyone who knows me, like, he's cool, but he can be blunt.
Yeah.
Which I am, but.
And it's nothing wrong with being blunt. It's just I did want to ask about that character development and how you. I'm not gonna say how you are the opposite now because I know we haven't had a lot of interaction in the last few years. I still want that jacket though.
Okay, yeah.
But it just like looking from the outside in, it looks like it got a lot better, obviously, because you have to communicate with a lot of different people and interact with a lot of different people in the work that you do. So yeah, I just wanted to know. I just wanted the status update basically on how, and how do you have any advice in regards to that, like for your past self or anybody that's going or experiencing like social awkwardness?
Oh yeah, talk to people, and it's like that's literally what you have to do. Like I remember, like I would literally force myself. Like I hate networking, but it's like I gotta do it. Like I would go to gallery shows or whatever and just like force myself to talk to people. I just force myself. And now it's like, I don't know, I've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, people feel comfortable to talk to me, but you just gotta talk to people. And that's the only way to get through
that. That's a gem. That's good advice. So I know when we were in school, like you were deep into a lot of different mediums, but at the time you were painting. So going from painting to fashion, like how did that love develop? Because I know it all started with, drawing at first and painting and different mediums like charcoal and acrylic paint. Yeah. So do you still paint?
So I guess in high school it started, I was doing color pencil. That was my thing, color pencil, charcoal and all that stuff. And I think towards the end and more towards the pandemic is when I like picked up painting and doing oil painting. And then I immediately fell in love with that. And I kept going like through the whole pandemic. I was doing nothing but painting. Like I would do whatever else, but I was painting the whole day. So I like pretty much built this portfolio of paintings and basically teaching myself how to do certain things. And I did that whole time. But like as I moved along, like I would do more painting, but then fashion design became something that was just like in the back of my mind. And like once I got more and more ideas from like fashion design, I wanted to take that and apply like the principles from my painting into fashion design. And I kind of just picked that and just completely ran with it. But painting is something like, of course, I still love. I haven't done it. I don't think I've painted since maybe September. Which I feel like it sucks, but like I don't have the time to anymore. Like it's been nothing but making clothes. But I still I just did a gallery show. I had a paint up in mocap the other day. I just picked it up. I was a judge of an art show the other day in Grosse Pointe. But I mean, so I still love painting. I'm still in all the galleries and.
Yeah, that's really good though. How does that feel like getting your art inside of galleries, no matter the scale?
Man, it's amazing. I remember that first time it happened. It was a gallery in Hamtramck called Hatch Art. And that was my first time ever getting into the show. And like that feeling, it was different. And immediately it was like an addiction. Like I had to keep doing this over and over again. I think that year, which is last year, I did 12 shows.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I started in April, and to the end it's 12.
That's
so
great.
It's like I kept applying to different things and kept submitting to different things. And it's like I was creating work, but not really that much work. I was just taking all the stuff that I had built up, submitting it to all these different things to like show it to different people. So
that's what's up. Like really, I admire that though. I admire persistence. So was it more so like you said, it was an addiction, but was it an addiction to like the success or just wanting to, I guess, give yourself a platform?
I think it was like that hard work had paid off. So it was like I spent all this time working on these paintings. Someone gets to see it, and now it's like, okay, there was a purpose to that. Like there's like all these hours that I spent like slaving in my room or whatever. Someone gets to see that, and that gets to be highlighted on the wall. So it's that's like a very rewarding feeling.
Yeah, I like that. I admire that for sure. So moving into fashion, when did you start creating these pieces?
Okay. Well, it's all over the place, honestly. Like, I think I made my first piece probably in high school, like doing like fashion club and all that stuff. Actually, this is my first piece.
Really?
I still wear it all the time today just to be like, okay, this is like where it started. It was like this bag was the first piece. But like for a while, I kind of dropped it. Like I think junior year of high school, I was doing it a lot in fashion club, and I dropped it. But more towards like the summer of last year, I started like, well, I guess even before that, over the pandemic, I was designing T-shirts, but I wasn't like actually making them from scratch. I would like make up the graphics, put them on the T-shirts, and sell them through a dropshipping website and all that stuff. But making clothes from scratch became like, okay, I want to do this. I started doing like upcycling and thrifts and stuff, and I'm doing that through the summer. And then towards like maybe fall is when I was like, okay, let's start making stuff from scratch, and that's where the flannels came from. So that was like all like September, October area, and then that's when the coats happened.
Yeah, that was neat. I like those. So how do you make those from scratch too?
The coats and stuff, all that stuff. Everything now is from scratch. Yeah.
So do you ever think you would move into mass production?
I want to, just because it takes so long. Like that stuff takes so long to make, and I'm currently in the process of like preparing for a show that I have in June. But that stuff takes forever. Like I remember when I made that first coat with like the maroon looking coat with like the bones on the back and everything. Yeah. I remember I had the idea in my head for probably about a month, and like I have this idea, and I waited for a weekend where I knew I didn't have that much like homework or whatever. I stayed in my room from Thursday. I didn't leave till like Saturday night.
Oh, wow.
Did not leave the room. Like I was committed. Like I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna finish this.
Yeah.
That's it. And like literally those days straight, like working on that, and I finally finished it. I was like, okay, I know where I'm going.
I love that. So it never gets faster. Like you know how you get.
It does. Like because once you first start making something from scratch, it's like all the pattern making and all that stuff. And once you have like the patterns and you get used to making something, it's gonna pick up. But like those first couple times, I was spending days like making that stuff, and that was a lot. But it gets shorter, so it's faster now. But yeah.
Okay. That's interesting though. But like moving on to like your experiences, so you got the opportunity to meet Daniel Arsham. I hope I'm saying his name right. So how was your experience with him?
Oh man, Daniel Arsham was like, I tell everyone, that's my biggest inspiration. Like top artist, 100%. And like he had his show in Detroit at Library Street, like down the street. But and that was his like, I don't know, probably his first show in Detroit. And I was like, okay, I gotta be there. I gotta talk to this dude and meet him or whatever. And it was a really cool experience. Like, especially like, I don't know, you see someone on Instagram or whatever, you idolize this person. It's like, okay, you're my inspiration. But meeting them and actually talking to them, that's a completely different thing. And it was really cool. Like, it was a nice experience.
So was he anything like you imagined him to be?
He was short. I was like, dang, like all the way down there. But like, he was cool. I didn't like have an expectation. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, I just admire his work. So it's like, yeah.
Have you ever had expectations like for yourself? Because you do a lot. Like you're very successful. Because you're only, did you turn 20 yet?
No. I turned 20 in August.
Yeah, like you're only 19, so you're very successful and you're still in school. So did you ever expect that? If you didn't even reach your peak yet, like we're being honest. So did you ever expect for you to be in this position?
No. If you like ask me, say like, I don't even know, like August or September, I definitely wouldn't think that at all. Like, but I didn't have a plan to like be this fashion oriented. Like it was like fine arts. I'm gonna do painting. I'm gonna do gallery shows. That's it. Did not have this plan at all. And now like I don't know, it's kind of throwing me off guard. And like people who like might have met me in like the beginning of this year, and they're like, oh, you're this, you're that. I'm like, bro, I wasn't like this a year ago. Like this is new for me too. Like so, I don't know. It's been great though.
That's great. So, did the person you are change at all? Like from you know, being so fine arts oriented, changing into fashion? like the fashion, strictly the fashion industry, since you haven't painted in a while?
No, I think a lot of that still applies. Like a lot of those same principles and all of those like storytelling through like fine arts. I try to apply that directly into fashion design. And same with like, I don't know, the people I meet and the communities that I'm in, they just go over so easily. It all like kind of merges. 'Cause I mean, fashion is an art. So like all those same people merge, all those same ideas can merge. It's just about how you're applying that. So.
Okay. I like that. That's very. So how did you come up with the name Wonderful?
Oh man, I hate telling the story. No, but my first ever Instagram name was like Boy Wonder 23. This is like fifth grade, maybe not fifth grade, maybe like 6th, 7th grade or whatever. Mm-hmm. And like it was spelled like Wonder like regularly.
Yeah.
And from there, I think I changed it to Be Wonder 23. And like all my friends would call me Be Wonder for a minute. It was irritating. It was like, okay, it is what it is. But from there, I don't know, like I just like the idea of having the one for wonderful. But not only that, I think as a brand, it's like I feel like when you ask someone how they're doing and they say they're wonderful, like that's the best feeling that they can give you. Like if someone says they're feeling wonderful, it's like, oh well, I mean, I guess you're good. And so like I'm like applying that to a clothing brand. It's like I want people to feel like that when they're wearing the pieces. I want you to feel wonderful in those pieces. So.
You look wonderful. Okay. okay. So starting with t-shirts, like you said before, and like branching off into making actual pieces from scratch. I wanted to ask it earlier, but was it, I'm not going to say a stretch, but was it more difficult, I guess? Because, oh no, I'm sorry, excuse me. How was the support?
The support?
Yes. How was the support from, starting from selling t-shirts to making these pieces from scratch, and obviously your prices have changed. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, this question. Oh my God.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, even when I was making t-shirts, the principle behind it was like, okay, I was painting, I was incorporating my paintings into the t-shirts, right. And I wanted the t-shirts to act as art prints. So it's like, instead of you buying like a printed out sheet of my like artwork, why don't you buy it on a t-shirt at the like similar price? I thought that was like a good concept. And I don't know, the t-shirts were probably like $30, $40 or whatever. And of course people I don't know, people don't think about those behind the scenes and all that stuff. And even through that whole time, like I have this idea, like, okay, I would rather just like take this all in myself and do everything myself. Because that's, if any, like I want to do everything myself. Like I would prefer to do everything myself, and everything that you see is probably done by me. It's rare that I have help. Like if I can do everything by myself, I will. Like people ask me, like, "Oh, did you hire somebody to do your website?" Oh, I'm like, "No, bro." Like, no. But okay, making pieces from scratch. It was like me trying to like basically take on another craft, but as well like I don't know, express my art as well. So, and of course, changing an art form into making pieces from scratch is not gonna be cheap. Like if I'm making that by hand, you're gonna have to pay. I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to pay.
I don't like people do complain and people expect it to be like, oh, okay. Like I'm not gonna beg you to buy anything. Like if you can't afford it, that's fine. Like typically I probably can't afford it, but I'm gonna support. Like no matter what, if you show me something and we're cool and it's like, okay, like I support you, doesn't mean I'm gonna buy it, and I'm not asking you to buy it. But I don't want to hear that all the time. Like people give me a lot of that. Like, oh, your prices. I didn't ask you to say anything. Like, and I don't need to sound like that, but it's like, dude, like when everyone's saying it around you and coming at you, it's kind of overwhelming. Like it really is. And it's like even when I like dropped my like line, like it was like a month ago or whatever, like, and all that coming at me, literally I'm just like going crazy because like so many people had something to say, and I was like eating at me. But like all that time and effort is literally like painting a picture. Those paintings that I was painting before, like selling $1,000 painting, like, and that's people accept that because they have this idea of art, but when they think of clothes, they're thinking of fast fashion. This stuff is not fast. Like, this is slow fashion.
Yeah.
So people like have that. I don't know. It's a huge misconception about like art and fashion and like that fast fashion industry. So
That's actually a great way to look at it. And okay, I got a lot of questions, but so in regards to the fast fashion portion of what you said, so I'm not gonna directly compare your brand to like Balenciaga or anything like that because it's not priced as that, but just looking at it from your view in regards to that. So when people pay for like Balenciagas or like $1,000 for Off-White or anything that's like high class, do you look at it in the same regard? Like if you were Virgil, for example, and you had a $2,000 piece from Off-White, would you expect your friend to pay for it, or like you said, at least support?
no, I mean like, because support isn't about just throwing money at me. Like you can just be like, hey, like I like what you're doing. I mean, I'm not gonna expect you to just like, buy because I mean that's messed up as a friend to be like, you're not gonna buy my piece. Like no, like, I'm not gonna do that. So like I know a lot of things can be expensive, and I know like a majority of my audience is like college students or like people who are my age. So I know it's not always accessible like that. It's not accessible for me. Like I'm not gonna spend that much money on stuff half the time because I can't do that. That's why I'm trying to create this business and do this stuff and hustle all this stuff myself. But I mean, there's an audience for everything. Like someone's buying it, someone's gonna buy it, and I'm not gonna expect certain people to just buy this stuff because that's just not fair.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. So in regards to the people that were kind of like badgering you, did you remove those people like from?
No. I mean, it's like if you can say everything, whatever. I think that at that time I was so mad, but like I like put out a little PSA on my Instagram or whatever to just like have some respect.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're saying all this stuff to me unwarranted, just please just have that respect. And of course it's not their fault. Like it's all a system built around it to give you this idea of something, this perception to feel like you can say something like that, and you don't understand how it affects the artist all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm cutting you out and you're like, oh, you're fake. No, like I'm just gonna tell you, like, look, like you're kind of overwhelming me, and that's making me feel a certain way. Like that's all. I don't need to cut you out for that. So.
Okay. That's an interesting way to look at it. I know a lot of people that have businesses or like specifically like clothing brands. It includes me. Like I don't have a clothing brand, but as far as like business goes, like including me, like when people do stuff like that, it kind of bothers me. So I don't necessarily, depending on the situation, I don't necessarily cut them out. But like you said, like supporting, that's the least you can do. Like reposting it, that's the least you can do. Like yeah, but I get a lot of different like views on that just because. Most of the people that I know sell clothes at like the $30, $40, like literally fast fashion. Like I sent it to somebody in China and they sent it back.
Right.
So they kind of look at it as like, it's only $20, buy it. Mm-hmm. But like you said, people our age aren't able to do that because, college and whatever else it is.
Yeah.
But as far as fashion shows go, how was your first experience in a fashion show?
Oh man, I think I cried when I left.
Really?
When I left the show, I went in my car. I literally like cried because it was that amazing. Like
really?
To see all that work that I put in such a short amount of time to go down the runway and see all that. Literally, taking that all in at the end of the day was like wow, like I did that. Yeah. So it was an amazing experience. Like it was amazing.
That's so I love that. So in your most recent fashion show, where do you see the growth? Like, what areas do you think you grew in or didn't grow in?
That one, I think the first one was it was fun. I think the second one was a little bit more professional, and I was amongst like other professionals, like other there was a lot of Detroit brands and all the other stuff like in that show as well, and it felt a little bit more professional, especially like the people who were around. all the other brands. So like that felt almost even better, where it was like, okay, like I can hang with these people. Like I can be seen at the same level as these other people who have been doing it longer than me. So that like was like kind of like a call, like, okay, I belong here. So it was a great experience too.
No, that's what's up. So how do you get like models for photo shoots and like models for your fashion shows?
Oh man. So first of all, that photo shoot that I had, that was not supposed to happen. It happened like, I put that together 2 days before.
Oh.
Yeah, like literally I had someone asking me like to do photography or I had someone ask me to model for me. And that was gonna turn into like, okay, I'm just gonna get like my friend, we're just gonna take some pictures, whatever. But I ended up renting out the studio at my school, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should just make this like a whole real thing. So we got in another photographer, and then I just basically hit up all my friends, like, or friends who I knew had modeled previously. And the fashion show was done through a modeling board. So like they already had models for me to just select. And so some of these models was already people I knew, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grab these models for the show and try to get them into the photo shoot. So I got like 7, 8 models for the photo shoot in like 2 days.
Oh wow!
And had them all come through and killed it. Like everything looked great. The photographer killed it, and yeah, put that together like randomly and instantly. So
that's great. That's what's up for real. Like, I feel like everything, like fashion wise, because obviously I don't know the extent of like, well, you were successful painting too. So I guess in the whole like art and fashion industry, like everything has fallen into place for you. Like, have you ever had any like missteps?
Oh, yeah. So I feel like because I mean, of course you don't see them, because I mean, I don't know, social media is like that thing. You hide them all or whatever. But like, it's been countless of shows I get declined from. I'm like, dang, like that was a punch to the chest, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, that always happens. Like, I don't know how many rejection letters I got from like different gallery shows, or like I don't know too much in fashion. I haven't really applied too much, but like even like trying to create something and it just not working at all.
Yeah.
It's like there's pieces that you won't ever see, because it's like, I'm gonna put that in a vault because that didn't go well.
Yeah.
And I got so many, like, there's a bunch of paintings like that didn't work out, and clothes that just didn't work out. That's just like, okay, we're gonna put that to the side and we're gonna keep pushing. And that's literally the key to everything though. Like, if you dwell on it too long, then it's really gonna pull you back. But as long as you just keep pushing it forward, you'll be good.
Thank you. I needed that. Thanks.
Yeah.
So, what has, as far as fashion goes, what has like the most important lesson been while in the fashion industry, like while immersing yourself in the fashion industry?
Oof. The most important. Wow. I think what's interesting about the fashion industry is that there's 2 sides. There's the business owner and there's the corporate side. So it's like you're doing it yourself and you're creating your own business, or you're working for a company and like helping with their business.
Also, like entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship.
Yes. So it's like, it's this battle of which side do you want to be on, and that's literally what I've been figuring out recently. As I'm like doing, like, this program is like more so focused towards like, okay, we're gonna put you in the industry. But doing stuff on my own, where it's like, okay, I want to build my own brand. And so like that is like the biggest, like I feel like for me that's the hardest thing to like do between. And I see so many other people going through the same thing, where it's like, okay, I can work this job at, say, like, I don't know, like Nike or something. Yeah. But I can work here for 7-10 years. But what is that gonna look like? Like, what am I doing that for? If I have this passion on the side, outside of that. Yeah. So I think the thing I've like tried to like figure out is just which side do I want to be on, and where do I want to end up long term. Yeah. And that's probably like the most difficult thing. I think I'm straight from the question, but
oh no, it's okay.
But yeah.
So okay. So in regards to that, I feel like I have the same type of like issue, but I think it's just all about planning, honestly. Because for example, like if you were to pursue like if you were to work a job at Nike for like 2 or 3 years, like 5 years, but you were to still have this brand, so you're building this brand while still making this money on the side. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of work, but what if when you come out of those 5 years at Nike, you quit, you have all of the money you saved from Nike, and on top of that, you have this successful business. So it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a gift.
Yeah. And yeah, there definitely are like people who do both and all that stuff. And I feel like I would be that type to do both. Like, I mean, I feel like I do that now. I'm going to school and doing like fashion design as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many times where I'm like, all right, that assignment can wait. I'm gonna make this piece first.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, what's the most important lesson?
Oh, the most important. Oh.
Yeah. No, y'all got it. Remember too.
The most important lesson. I don't know if I know yet. I feel like I'm still figuring out some more stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
It's okay.
I feel like that's so hard because I feel like I'm just getting started. I just started and like trying to get into the fashion industry, and I don't know if I know the answer.
It's okay. That's understandable. So, what motivates you?
Motivation. Wow. I think definitely people around me. Seeing other people do great things, even like different avenues, like it doesn't have to be fashion, art, or anything. Like seeing that definitely pushes me. Whether it's like friends, family, anything. Like if I see someone having some success, it's like, oh wow, that's great. Like maybe I should go and do something. Like whether it's like I don't know, I see somebody do something cool, and I'm like, oh, I should go and make this piece or whatever. So I think like just people around me.
Oh, wow. Motivation. So like just every day, just motivation.
Oh yeah.
So what inspires new pieces?
Oh wow. I feel like it's like with today's day and age, it's like a lot of social media that inspires a lot. But like still sticking to the same principles of like I make a lot of pieces surrounding anatomy and all that stuff, and I try to stick within that range.
Yeah.
But having social media inspires to like I don't know functionality or certain design concepts and all that stuff. Or maybe sometimes I can be sitting I don't know listening to a song and be like, these lyrics just made me think about some design that I have in my head. And I might just go and sketch that or whatever. So I mean, pop culture, social media, all types of art forms.
That's amazing. That's interesting. Have you ever had a time when you just couldn't create?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. There's been times where I've like, especially like when I feel like I have to do something, like say if it's a commission or like I'm working on a project with someone, and it's like okay, I have to sit here and like do this.
Yeah.
And like I guess then it feels like it doesn't feel organic. And so like when I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, this feels forced. It's like I can't really create like I would normally because it's like I don't know, it feels weird. So it's been plenty of that.
Okay. So I'm not weird. This is just I have a podcast, so I look into what people are doing. Mm-hmm. So first of all, I want to congratulate you. Because two things. I missed the first one, but I'll go back to it. So you got an internship with Steve Madden. So congratulations. How do you feel about that? Like, just first of all, how do you feel about that?
Oh man, it was. I mean, it's great. Like, I'm super excited to first of all to be in New York. Like, it's in person? Yeah,
oh,
so
wow.
I'm gonna be moving to New York in like a month.
Oh wow!
So I start June 14th, but I'll be there for 8 weeks. It's like 2 months. But super excited, like, and the way it all happened, like I don't know, everything just fell into place, and it almost felt like it wasn't supposed to happen, but like the fact that it did, it's amazing.
No, that's great. That's great, especially because you get to do it in person. Like since COVID, a lot of stuff is either hybrid or virtual. So your experience is gonna be a lot different than
Yeah. And like the position I'm doing, so like I'm a handbag design intern.
Oh.
So it's like that's gonna be an experience. Like I'm super excited to like dive into that team and like to work on their projects and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be super cool.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. So being that I know your position now, because I didn't know before, what I'm not gonna say what focus, but what do you think your inspiration will be with making handbags?
Well, I don't know how it's gonna necessarily work in that sense. Like, I don't know if they're gonna be like, okay, work on this project, work on this project, work on this project.
Yeah.
But I know that they typically are inspired by a lot of pop culture things and things that are trending and all that type of stuff. So it'll definitely probably be making kind of taking a lot of inspiration from that type of stuff. But still, like when you're at a brand, it's all about staying true to that brand, which is kind of like amongst what I was talking about before, where it's like, do you want to do this on your own or do you want to work for a corporation?
Yeah.
And that's my like first look into like being able to do that. And so like I don't know, it's one of those things I'm blessed to get that experience just to be like, okay, I'll see if this is what I'm gonna do like long term or in the future. So
yeah, because entrepreneurship is very confined.
Yeah.
So So what plans do you have for the future?
Oh wow. I mean, of course, that internship, that's the near future. But even after that, I plan on studying abroad in the fall.
Oh wow.
So I'm hoping that happens. But planning on going to London, studying at UAL, University of Arts London, studying fashion design, and I don't know, I have 2 more years of school, so that's of course on the agenda. But I'm gonna continue to build my brand. I have a couple of big projects in the works that I won't say, but they're in the works.
You want to say them just a little bit?
There's some big stuff happening. Collaboration with another brand, and working with another designer with another brand as well, which was a great opportunity. I might say.
But I didn't give me anything.
I'll say off camera.
Okay. But okay, so just to wrap up the interview, at the end of every interview, I just basically, spend the last few minutes asking you about, what you want to manifest. So I'm more of a spiritual person, so yes, like Stars and Crystals. But basically, I feel as if you speak it, it'll become. So what would you like to manifest for? It doesn't matter the time period. It could be 30 years from now. It could be tomorrow. I don't know. You don't want to trip over a crack when you leave today. So what do you want to manifest for the future?
Man, I think being able to have a designer brand and being able to present my ideas to the world and having the freedom to do so. Like not only being able to, but having that freedom to where it's like I can be successful, but also not have to have too much worry about that. Like at the end of the day, it's not about money. Like I want to be able to create. That's the main thing, and with that can come money, and it will. But the main focus is just creating and getting that out there.
That's admirable. Thank you. All right. Wow, I like the gems. That's really, I'm taking it in. But, all right, well, I just want to thank you for tapping in, showing love, and coming out for our interview. No problem. I like this. I appreciate the authenticity throughout this interview. I really do. And I don't know your last name. So.
Wilson.
This is very regular, okay. I didn't know that it was going to be like that.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's why I didn't say your name. I mean your last name.
Wow, that's crazy.
Maya, edit this out.
Maya Davis. That's crazy.
But I don't know anybody's last name. Like, I think I only know Miles' last name, literally. And I haven't talked to Miles in like 2 years.
I actually talked to him.
So I said, For real, that's my dog. Shit.
No, that nigga University success.
Oh really? Oh yeah, I know.
I'm actually going there after this.
Oh really?
Yeah, let's show.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Look at you. Two birds.
Right.
But damn, what I was gonna say? Oh yeah. So yeah, thank you for tapping in, showing love, and coming out for an interview. If y'all was messing with it, let us know, and let me know who you want to see me interview next. The links to everything, Bryan Wilson. The links to everything Bryan and Wonderful will be in the description below, and so will all the socials for the Playhouse as well as myself. So once again, I just want to thank you for tapping in, and it's the Playhouse, man.
When I touch down, you better tap in.